Watch and burn.
Hey everyone. So tonight, or yeah, whatever. Today I want to discuss Johnny Cash's third record for American recordings, and this is American III, Solitary Man. Got the name because he is covering Neil Diamond's track by the same name on here. This is interesting because this is sort of the pivotal release for his American years as far as I'm concerned, because whereas with his first two, with the American one through Unchained, he actually, as far as I was always concerned, I felt like Cash was sort of starting over. So I saw those first two records as like a younger dude figuring out his sound. I guess it's like that is exactly how I saw it. It felt like Cash had been reborn, and he'd been reborn and reintroduced to all of us who were kids at the time, who only really knew Johnny Cash through, like, you know, what we heard our parents and our friends of our parents discuss from the, you know, the years, the decades prior. And so for him to sort of break out with Delia's Gone, and it was on Much Music and MTV all the time when I was a kid, it did seem like, even though he's been around forever, it sounded like he had hit the reset button. And so in that sense, I'd always sort of seen his American releases as like a young guy starting out who happened to age really, really quickly. It's a good way of putting it. Because on here is when he's like the most assured. The first two records, you could almost argue that at times he seems nervous. And I know that technically that was true because Rick Rubin had stripped him of his band and had left him alone with just his guitar. And Cash had expressed how terrifying that was. Until, of course, you know, he got his head around the concept and he was able to sort of see the genius in it. He was scared. And that sort of sense of unknowing and that sense of fear is gone on here. This sounds like, you know, a band, sort of their peak moment, I suppose. Because I will say American III, Solitary Man, is the last release before Cash starts to get old. I mean, everybody knows that with American I through Unchained, he wasn't a kid, but he was still young enough to sound like him. And as of American IV and American V, his age starts to show through his voice, and things become a little sadder. This record doesn't sound that way. This record has, I mean, his cover of, I think it's Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, The Mercy Seat. And the coolest thing about that track, aside from the fact that I love how when Johnny Cash covers a song, you know, like historically, it's always become his. And I couldn't support that more because I absolutely love what he did with The Mercy Seat on here. The other cool thing too is the piano playing in the background. That was played by Rick Rubin. So I thought that was awesome as well. He covers Tom Petty on here. I Won't Back Down is here. His cover of Neil Diamond's Solitary Man, which I will say overall, I do prefer Neil Diamond's version of Solitary Man. Cash's sounds too clinical, you know, and too cold, too sterile. But it's still amazing, but I do prefer Neil Diamond's version. What else is on here? I See a Darkness is on here. The Mercy Seat's on here. And Wayfaring Strangers on here. So in that sense, in the one sense, this is my favorite of the Cashes, of the American years, sorry, that Cash released through Rick Rubin, because The Mercy Seat is on here. But I also absolutely love I See a Darkness. That is one bleak tune, I'm telling you. And it just seemed like his stuff got darker and darker, because this would end his career. He would end his career, sorry, and end his life while he was signed to Rubin's American Records. So this really is sort of like the middle of the end for Johnny Cash. And I absolutely love this record. He's an incredible songwriter. He can cover songs in a way that like nobody else can. And of course, when I discuss American IV, where he covered the Nine Inch Nails' Hurt, I mean, I think the entire world woke up to that fact back in when was that? That had to be, what was it, 2002, 2003, something like that, when that record came out? I can't remember. Fuck, it's sitting right here. Where is it? Yes, I was right. Yeah, American 4 came out in 2003. So, look, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I discussed Johnny Cash's American 3, Solitary Man. Like always, if you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. If you think I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about, don't forget to put it in the comments. But most importantly, don't forget that you are amazing, and I really appreciate all of you watching this. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.